Ruben Amorim has just been sacked by Manchester United after things finally started to look like they were going right this season. During his Manchester United career, he had tons of ridiculous moments and rants in the press, but with his press conference after the 1-1 draw against Leeds, I think that was the final nail in the coffin for the Manchester United board. Now, before we take a closer look into Amorim's reign and eventual sacking, I want to ask you guys a question. In fact, I want to ask you guys two questions. The first question of today's video is, was it right to sack Ruben Amorim? And the second question of today's video is, who will take over at Manchester United as manager? Darren Fletcher has been given the job for the Burnley game on the weekend, and it would not surprise me if he gets it until the end of the season. But honestly, right now, I just can't even see who takes that job. But anyway, let's go all the way back to where it started. So back in November 2024, Ruben Amorim joined Manchester United after Erik ten Hag was sacked. Now, Jim Ratcliffe actually wanted to get Amorim straight away, but he was told by the Manchester United board and the directors that it was a risk. But Jim Ratcliffe didn't care and he wanted Amorim. Now, I remember some stuff going around at the time that Amorim didn't actually want to join at the time that Erik ten Hag was sacked, because he was top of the league with Sporting CP. He wanted to finish the season there and then join Manchester United. However, this was not going to happen. Jim Ratcliffe wanted his man and he wanted him now, and that's exactly what happened. Sitting here now and looking back at it, we can say it definitely didn't go to plan, and Amorim was sacked after 14 months and just 24 wins in 63 games. And of those 24 wins, 15 of them was in the Premier League. His 31.9% win ratio is also the worst of any manager since Sir Alex Ferguson retired back in 2013. Amorim was sacked early Monday morning, less than 24 hours after his unbelievable press conference after the draw with Leeds. And if I'm honest, I know he's had plenty of rants before, but if he never made the comments this time after the draw, I think he'd still have his job. Amorim said, quote, "I came here to be the manager, not the coach, and it'll be like that for 18 months or until the club decides to change." He also made some comments about the club bosses, telling them to do their job. Specifically, Jason Wilcox, who is the director of football at Manchester United. So this basically implies that Amorim isn't getting to do the job the way he wanted to do it. And it sounds to me like he's getting told the players to play, the formations to play and stuff like that. And he's not the type of manager to just sit back and accept that. But from the moment Amorim publicly criticised the club's hierarchy, you just know that was it. You just know his job was going to come to an end. So now it's time for Manchester United again to hire another manager. In fact, it's time for them to hire their 7th manager since Sir Alex Ferguson retired in May 2013. Now, I have always said, I don't know why anyone takes the Manchester United job. If you take that job, you are a dead man walking. It is the hardest job in football, up there with the England job. No matter how good of a manager you are, you will be criticised no matter what when you are Manchester United manager. And we've seen that with Jose Mourinho, who's arguably the best manager since Sir Alex Ferguson to take charge of Manchester United. Every time a manager does get sacked at the club, the team upstairs always come out with the same thing and say they need to get it right. But this time, more than ever, I think Manchester United need a really big name. They need to hire a manager who's got the experience, who's got the track record, and someone who knows the Premier League. At the moment, like I said earlier, Darren Fletcher will be taking the Burnley game, and it would not surprise me if he takes it to the end of the season. I was reading online that apparently there's no plan currently on whether United will appoint a manager now or at the end of the season and play the long game. If they are going to gamble and hire someone now, I think you've got to look at the likes of Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace, who has shown his desire to leave. Kieran McKenna at Ipswich, he's got that Manchester United history. Or even Gareth Southgate is a name that I've seen mentioned so many times. However, if they do choose to play the long game, they might want to wait until after the World Cup next summer and talk to the likes of Thomas Tuchel, Pochettino, or even Carlo Ancelotti. Now, Pochettino was actually close to being hired back in 2016, but the club hired Jose Mourinho instead, so it would not surprise me if they go in for him again. But honestly, at this moment in time, I don't even know who would be good for Manchester United. So to answer the first question of today's video, was it right to sack Ruben Amorim? I'm really not sure. Don't get me wrong, he didn't do a great job, but they did a lot better than last season. But his problem is, he just couldn't keep his mouth shut. And to answer the second question, who will take over at Manchester United? I honestly have no clue. The favourite for the bookies right now is Oliver Glasner, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said at the start of this video, guys, let me know, what do you think? Is it the right decision to sack Ruben Amorim? And also, let me know, who do you guys think will take over at Manchester United? So that is it for today's video. Man United, again, needs a new manager. And yeah, how many times have we said this before? But yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I really hope you're having a great new year. If you did enjoy this video, then smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It is a new year, 2026. Let's see how many subscribers we can get. Honestly, the dream would even just be like 1,000 before the end of the year. But let's try and get to 500 first, and we'll go from there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch the video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you stick around, guys, and I promise you will not regret it.